Do you think you're exhausted because life is too heavy? No. Sometimes. You're tired because you keep handing control of your mind to people who don't even deserve a seat in your head. One criticism, one disrespectful look, one rude attitude, and you immediately start explaining, reacting, taking it personally, and losing sleep. They're not stronger than you. They're just good at pulling your attention away from yourself. And the moment your attention wanders, your peace disappears with it. Don't waste your energy feeding drama. Some people provoke you just to see you lose control. If you want life to feel lighter, face this truth. Not every noise deserves a response. You don't have to be understood by everyone. You only need to protect your inner peace. Keep your mind clear, and keep moving forward calmly. Like someone who knows exactly where they're going, your peace can be stolen in the dirtiest way, through people's opinions, bitter attitude, rude comment, and disrespect they throw at you just to watch you explode. Some people provoke you not because they're powerful, but because they know one thing: once they pull your attention away from yourself, they win. Then you start explaining, proving yourself, arguing back, and by the end of the day, your energy is gone. Listen, decent people don't need you to react in order to respect you. Only empty people live by triggering others' emotions. So don't be foolish. Don't hand control of your mind to people who treat your feelings like a toy. Peace is an asset. If they don't deserve it, kick them out of your head. When your attention gets pulled away, you may think you're just a little annoyed. But no, the first thing you lose is control. And the next thing you lose is peace. You start replaying that sentence in your head, creating more scenarios, imagining what they're thinking, and exhausting yourself. Then your whole day becomes a reaction. Your heart beats faster. Your head feels heavier. Your work suffers. And even your sleep isn't peaceful. That's the trap. Something outside barely touches you. But inside, you burn through all your energy. And the worst part is this: you're paying for it with your peace. For someone who may have forgotten you after 30 seconds. So remember, this attention is the steering wheel of your life. Keep it with you. When you stop being controlled by other people's words and attitudes, you'll feel lighter right away, because peace always follows where you place your attention. Stoicism isn't just fancy philosophy you read to sound smart and then keep living the same way. It's armor. It's a shield that keeps all the noise out there from getting inside your head. Stoicism teaches one simple but difficult rule: the outside world can be chaotic. But inside, you must stay steady. You can't control what others say, do, or think, but you can control the most important thing, your reaction. And when you control your reaction, you control your entire day. This isn't being cold. This is being smart. Because every time you react on impulse, you hand someone else the power to control your emotions and drag you into exhaustion. Stoicism makes you harder to manipulate. You learn which battles are worth fighting, which trash to ignore, and how to keep your mind clear so you can stay focused on your goals. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus all said the same thing. Just in different ways, real strength begins when you stop letting the outside world control your inner world. People can insult you, mock you, look down on you, or purposely try to upset you. That's on them. But whether you lose your temper or lose your peace is on you. Stoicism doesn't tell you to swallow disrespect. It teaches you to choose what is truly worth your attention. Some things only make you look smaller when you react. They weaken you and pull your focus away from your goals. When you stop reacting blindly, you stop being a puppet. You become the one holding the wheel, calm, clear-minded, and disciplined. And, trust me, the people who love causing drama will be the first to fall apart when they realize you're no longer easy to provoke. Not every insult deserves a response. Most attacks out there aren't meant for discussion. They're meant to drag you down into the mud. The more you react, the more power they gain. The more you explain yourself, the more entitled they feel. And what do you lose? Time, energy, focus, all for a worthless argument. Stoicism teaches you to be ruthless with what doesn't matter. Stay silent, ignorate, and move on. Not because you're weak, but because you're strong enough not to prove anything. A wise person chooses the battlefield. A fool fights at every corner. If one sentence can set you on fire, it means you just handed control of your emotions to someone else. Next time, pause for a second, breathe, and ask yourself, is this worth ruining my whole day? 90% of the time. The answer is no. Not every conflict deserves your energy. Many arguments aren't meant to solve anything. Their only purpose is to burn through your calm. You jump in, trying to win, trying to be right, trying to teach someone a lesson, only to end up being the most exhausted one. Stoicism says it clearly. Some battles are losses, even when you win, because the price is your time, your focus, and your mood for the whole day. Smart people don't need to prove they're right to someone who only wants drama. You have the right to leave a meaningless conversation. You have the right not to reply. You have the right to choose silence, to keep your mind clear for bigger things. Don't let your ego drag you into the trap. A conflict is not worth it if it pulls you away from your goals and throws you into an emotional spiral. Winning like that is only winning in your imagination while your real life falls behind. Choosing your battles is real strength. Not everyone deserves access to your emotions. Sounds harsh, but it's true. Your emotions are the front door to your inner world. Open it carelessly, and you let trash in. Some people don't come to understand you. They come to pull a reaction out of you, drag you down, make you lose control, and then enjoy watching it happen. Stoicism teaches you to set boundaries. Those who respect you can talk. Those who are kind can share. And those who are toxic can stay outside the door. You don't owe them an explanation. You definitely don't owe them your tears or your anger. Save your emotions for the right people, the right things, and the right moments. When you control who gets to reach you, life becomes much lighter because you stop wasting energy feeding people who don't deserve it. Ignoring people isn't arrogance, and it's not some "I'm better than you" act. Weak, insecure people pretend to be cold just to hide their insecurity. But ignoring people through a stoic mindset is self-control. You know what deserves space in your mind, and what is just trash. You don't refuse to react because you're scared. You refuse because you understand this reacting blindly lowers you to the same playground as people who love creating chaos. You choose silence to keep your mind clean. Protect your energy for your goals, and preserve your own peace. Toxic people live off watching you lose control, so don't give them that privilege. Ignoring them is your way of saying, "I don't have time for this." And that's how you win. That is mental strength and emotional discipline. Not the loud kind of strength, but the real kind. You don't let other people push your buttons and make you explode. You control your anger before it controls you. You notice your emotions rising. Then pause and choose a response that actually benefits you. Emotional discipline means not letting a stupid comment ruin your whole day, not letting one disrespectful look destroy your confidence, not letting a small drama turn you into someone who loses control. Weak people live by reaction. Strong people live by choice. Stoicism doesn't turn you into stone. It turns you into someone who is awake, calm when provoked, silent when necessary, and decisive enough to walk away from anything that pollutes your mind. When you master your emotions, you master the quality of your life. It's that simple. Ignoring someone is not about getting revenge. It's the art of keeping your mind clear. You can't stop people from talking, but you can stop their words from living in your head. Your mind is like a room. If you let everything in rumors, attitude, mockery, negativity, sooner or later, it becomes a trash pile. Stoicism teaches you to close the door at the right time. You choose what information to take in, who to let close, and which conversations are worth having. You don't replay one rude comment all night. You don't perform emotions just to satisfy people who enjoy watching you lose control. When you build the habit of ignoring what doesn't matter, your mind feels lighter. You focus deeper, work better, and sleep easier. That is real victory, winning over yourself. Not winning some cheap argument. You're not trying to act noble when you ignore things. You're refusing to let toxic people and noise decide the quality of your day. Drama seekers, manipulators, negativity, and all the chaos around you, because once you let them into your head, they take up space. You wake up annoyed, work distracted, and replay it all again at night. Just like that. Your whole day gets controlled by someone who adds nothing to your life. Stoicism teaches you to cut off access, keep what brings value, remove what brings trash. You don't need to defeat them. You just need to stop giving them the chance to pollute your mind. That is real freedom. When you protect your peace like you protect money in your wallet, life becomes much lighter, and you start moving faster because you're no longer being dragged back by meaningless things. Stoic thinking teaches you 3 things: stay calm, protect your focus, and choose your response instead of living like a reaction machine. People throw bait at you. You don't have to bite. They throw insults. You don't have to rush in and prove yourself. The more you react on instinct, the easier you are to control. Stoicism doesn't force you to stay silent. It forces you to stay awake, to know when to speak, when to stay quiet, and when to walk away. When you keep a cool head, you see things more clearly, make better decisions, and work more effectively. Toxic people feed on your emotions. Once you take your emotions out of their hands, you take away their power. Living in reaction mode is like living for someone else. But when you choose your response, you take back control of your life quietly, but powerfully. Maybe the real secret isn't trying to make everyone understand you, because the more you try, the more you get pulled into the cycle, explaining, defending, proving yourself, then ending up exhausted. Peace doesn't come from winning in other people's eyes. It comes from understanding one simple thing: not everyone deserves your reaction. Some people live off your attention. They only have power when you reply, when you get upset, when you lose your calm. So the way to take back your peace isn't to speak better, it's to stay silent at the right time. You don't owe anyone an argument. You don't owe anyone access to your mind. When you stop trying to please everyone, you'll feel lighter, your mind gets clearer, your energy comes back, and you can finally focus on your own life, the thing that matters more than any judgment. Peace begins. The moment you realize this, not everyone deserves your answer. Many people don't want to understand you. They only want to trigger you. They want you to react so they can feel powerful. And if you keep responding to everything, you're paying them with your own peace. Stoicism teaches you to break that loop, stay silent, ignore it, and return to your own path. You don't need recognition from someone who disrespects you. You don't need to prove you're right to someone who only wants drama. What you need is a clear mind, stable emotions, and focus on your goals. When you don't react, you take away their weapon, and strangely, that's when you feel lighter, become stronger, and life starts to feel calmer because you stop feeding the noise with your attention. Some people only have power as long as they can keep you bothered. They live off your reaction when you get angry. They enjoy it. When you explain yourself, they feel like they've won. When you lose control, they get exactly what they wanted. Don't be naive and think they want a respectful conversation. Some people just want to drag you down so you become as messy as they are. Stoicism sees through this. Quickly, people who create chaos are not worth your energy. When you stop reacting, you cut off their fuel. Suddenly, they become weaker because they no longer have a button to push. And you get your time back, your focus back, and your peace back. Remember this. You don't need to beat them with words. You just need to stop giving them access to your mind. Silence at the right time is the hardest hit for people who love causing drama. The moment they can no longer touch your inner state, everything changes. Before, one sentence from them could make you angry. One cold look could make you overthink. One post could ruin your whole day. But once you train yourself to stay calm, they start to miss. There's no reaction to hold on to, no emotion to exploit, no attention to control. That's when you realize most of their power was just an illusion you gave them. Once you take it back, they run out of tricks, and you become steadier, a clearer mind, sharper decisions, deeper focus, and better sleep. Stoicism doesn't make you emotionless. It makes you immune to bait. You don't need to beat them. You just need to stop giving them the power to drag you down. When you stop letting yourself get pulled into chaos, you become someone who is very hard to control. People provoke you. You don't jump. They mock you. You don't take the bait. They try to create drama. You stay outside of it. And just like that, they lose their game. You become harder to shake, harder to break, because you no longer live by temporary emotions. You live by your goals. You save your energy for bigger things instead of wasting it on cheap battles. That is the difference between a mature person and a reactive one. One chooses their response. The other gets dragged around by it. When you break the habit of jumping into everything, life naturally becomes calmer. Your performance gets better. And you start gaining real power, the power over yourself. So the power of ignoring isn't about showing off. It's about taking back control. You don't need to defeat anyone. You just need to defeat the habit of reacting blindly. Don't let a trash comment, a toxic attitude, or a toxic person decide your mood. When you keep your calm, you keep your focus. When you keep your focus, you keep your direction. And when you keep your direction, you win quietly, but firmly. Stoicism doesn't teach you to be emotionless. It teaches you to be selective. Choose what deserves your attention. Choose who deserves to stay. And choose the response that benefits you. If this message hit home, comment "Peace" to remind yourself, from today on, I'm not giving anyone the right to live inside my head anymore.